Yo, what is going on, NFL fans? With only a few more weeks until training camp starts, I want to talk about some of my favorite things about the NFL season, and that is my survivor pool picks. We dominated last year, guys. We made it to week 14, and then we had a couple games that really messed up our picks. This year, I'm going to do 5 different teams. I'm going to go with you guys every single week and give you the best survivor pool picks. I'm going to track all 5 of my different survivor pools. I'm going to use different teams, different kind of combinations so we can get that big prize at the end. The pool that I'm in, the winner gets around $25,000. I've come very close to winning multiple years, but we haven't won that grand prize just yet. We did a split a few years back where the prize pool was split between 6 different people and we got around $4,000. The NFL season is right around the corner, so I'm going to give you guys my favorite picks for week 1. If you like this kind of survivor pool content, let me know in the comments below and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. When I do my survivor pools, especially for the first few weeks, there are things that I want to target. I want to target teams that are on the road. I want to target teams with a lot of rookies or a lot of turnover. And I also want to target rookie quarterbacks, right? So that's the games we're going to be looking for when we check out this schedule for week 1. These big primetime games, you want to stay away from them. The Ravens, Chiefs, Eagles, Green Bay, the Lions game with the Rams. Stay away from those games, guys, 100%. In the survivor pool that I'm in, you're allowed 1 buyback, but that's only in the first week. So say we pick the Pittsburgh Steelers to win over the Falcons and the Falcons end up winning. Okay, we can buy back into the tournament for another $20, but we have to bet the Monday night game, which is a really hard game to pick because it's the Jets on the road at San Francisco. I guess you go with San Francisco in that case. So I don't really want to take too many wild card games in this first week because that Monday night game is so tough. All right, since the first 2 games are definitely out of the way, I don't really love the Pittsburgh Steelers Falcons game. I think the line is like under 2 for that game. Kirk Cousins is new. Russell Wilson is new. A lot of variables there that I can't control. It's in a dome, which I like. We want to control as much as we can control, but I don't necessarily love that game. Then we have the Cardinals at the Buffalo Bills. The line's pretty big. I think it's around 7 right now. But the Arizona Cardinals are a lot better than people think. There's a lot of turnover on the Buffalo Bills roster as well. So if the Arizona Cardinals somehow upset the Bills, I wouldn't be surprised. The Bills will probably win this game. So if you want to get a little risky in this game, betting the Buffalo Bills at home is an interesting pick. It's just not one of my favorites of the week. Titans and the Bears. This is another game that I don't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. We got Caleb Williams, rookie quarterback. The Tennessee Titans got a bunch of new coordinators there, new head coach. I do not like betting this game at all whatsoever. The line's pretty close. I think the Titans are getting some points in this game, but man, a lot of new faces in Chicago. Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, a lot of new faces. I don't know what's going to happen in this game, so I definitely don't want to bet it. And then we have the Patriots at the Bengals. The largest line of the week is at 9 points right here. But Joe Burrow is coming off that injury, and offensive coordinator Brian Callahan is now the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, right? So I don't know how that offense is going to look. And the second half of the year, this New England Patriots had one of the best defenses in the entire NFL. Is it going to be Jacoby Brissett or Drake May at quarterback for the Patriots? We just don't know. A lot of variables. I'm not betting this game at all whatsoever. And then Colts versus the Texans, man, in the Dome in Indianapolis. This is going to be a really competitive game, I think. I don't want any juice at all whatsoever. And then the battle of the Florida teams, the Jaguars at the Miami Dolphins. No way, man. The Dolphins lost Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, to the Philadelphia Eagles. They lost Hunt, one of their best offensive linemen. They had a lot of injuries, especially on defense towards the end of the year. So this game could really go either way. I don't necessarily love the Jaguars either, but both these teams are pretty middle of the pack, so I don't want anything to do with this game. Then we move on to my first pick of this year is New Orleans Saints beating the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers had like 12 draft picks this year. They're an extremely young team, and they were horrific last year. When you have a lot of young players in the dome, it's going to be really hard to communicate, right? So the Saints are minus 5-point favorites right now. I love the Saints at home to beat the Carolina Panthers. I don't necessarily love the New Orleans Saints as a roster, as an overall team. I just think they're a lot more talented than the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young was not very good last year. The offensive line was pretty terrible. They spent a lot of money in free agency, a lot of moving parts, a lot of young guys. I think they're going to have a tough time communicating in the dome. This is one of my 3 picks. This is my least favorite of my 3 picks, guys. All right, so stay tuned for the rest. And if you like these kind of survivor pool picks and a little insight into these games, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. All right, now we move on to Minnesota at New York. 2 teams that I don't think are going to be very good this year. I don't know who wins that game. I'm not betting this game at all whatsoever. Then we have the Raiders at the Chargers. I always like to stay away from division games because these teams know each other really well, and anything can happen in division games. Stay away from this game. And the next game that I really like, we're going to target a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix, right? And that's why we're going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. They just have a much more talented roster. The wide receivers for Seattle are great. Geno Smith is an okay quarterback, but man, going to Seattle to play is really tough. It's extremely loud. The way that stadium is configured, right, the sound gets really trapped down on the field. I think Bo Nix is going to have a really tough time. Minus Courtland Sutton, that offense is really going to struggle to score points, I think, this year. And that's why I like the Seattle Seahawks. They're minus 4.5-point favorites. I really, really like the Seahawks to get the W. That's my second favorite pick for Week 1 and Survivor. Browns at home against Dallas. Dallas looks like they're going to be starting 2 rookie offensive linemen. I think this game is going to be won in the trenches. I think Cleveland wins this game, but their offense isn't great. This could come down to a last-second field goal or a final drive to see who wins this game. I don't really want anything to do with this game, even though I think Cleveland will win. If you want to get a little risky, maybe the Cleveland Browns are a pick for you. And then my favorite survivor pool pick of Week 1 for the 2024 season is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home versus the Washington Commanders. They're going to be starting rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels. Dan Quinn is the new head coach there. Cliff Kingsbury is the new offensive coordinator. A lot of moving parts for a very, very not good roster with the Washington Commanders. And look what Todd Bowles and that defense did to the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs last year. If they were able to destroy Jalen Hurts, who's a similar game to Jayden Daniels, I think it's going to be definitely the same result in this game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers is my pick of the week for Survivor in Week 1. Obviously, with injuries and stuff, this could all change before we actually get to Week 1. But as of right now, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are my Survivor pick of the week, guys. I'm going to say like 3, if not 4 out of my 5 lineups are all going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for this year's Survivor pool. And then the Rams at Detroit, you can't touch that game, and I would not touch the Jets at San Francisco, guys. So we're going to go with Seattle at home, Tampa Bay at home, and New Orleans at home. And we're targeting rookie quarterbacks with Washington and Jayden Daniels and Bo Nix for Denver to go against them. And then Carolina, Bryce Young is in year 2, but they have an extremely young roster. We're going to target them in the Dome at New Orleans. So New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Seattle. If you like these kind of Survivor pool picks, let me know. Do you like my picks in the comments below? If you guys like my content, please consider subscribing. We're getting closer and closer to 5,000. Thanks so much, guys. Peace.